Okay, so I know a lot of you must have come across this recipe in one way or the other. Maybe you must have seen it in the internet. Maybe you must have had a taste of it at a restaurant. But one thing I am sure is that some of you don't really know how to make this recipe. And it's really simple. I mean, the first time I actually ate this meatball pasta, I was like, oh my God, this is something that I would really want to recreate in my own way. And today in this video, I'm going to show you how to make meatball pasta in a very simple way, yet very delicious. To make this recipe, first, you need your breadcrumbs. Yes. So if you don't have any breadcrumbs around, this is how to make breadcrumbs. So you get a bread, normal regular bread, excuse me, and you just want to cut out the back side. I actually don't like to use the back side, but some people just blend everything together, and I would just want to make use of just the inside alone. So I'm trying to cut this into tiny pieces, and then I transfer that into my pan, and I'm just going to roast it a little bit just so I can be able to blend it and get the breadcrumbs out of it very easy. This is our already parboiled pasta, so we set that aside and get into the main dish. Now get your pepper mix, blend it and set it aside. Get your beef, minced beef from the supermarket, and add your breadcrumbs, add your onions, and add your egg. You need 1 egg for this. Add some salt, and you need some oyster sauce. And the oyster sauce is actually optional. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I will really recommend you add a little bit of oyster sauce. And then you add your curry powder, your paprika or your red chili powder, your garlic powder, and you add your little bit of seasoning, and you just want to mix everything together, just like the way my nephew is helping me out. So you want to oil your pan with a little bit of vegetable oil before you start with the process of molding it into a tiny ball like this. And you just want to mold that very well so it won't break or scatter while you're trying to fry it. So just ensure that the molding is very smooth, and you set that aside after you're done, and then add a little vegetable oil into your pan and just transfer that meatball into your pan and fry it. And also you want to flip this around very gently. You don't have to rush, because if you rush it's going to really scatter. So you have to flip everything around gently until you know that you have cooked all side. Just keep flipping it around until all side is properly cooked and browned, and then you take it aside, you take it out, and into another pan you want to add your vegetable oil or your olive oil, anyone, and then you add your onions and your garlic. Then you go in with your tin tomatoes. You can use just fresh tomatoes for this recipe as well. And then I just wanted to mix the both together, and then I added my fresh tomatoes, my blended fresh tomatoes, and my pepper mix, and I give everything a very good mix. You want to allow this to cook until your tomato it's properly cooked. You want to keep flipping this around and just turning it, and then after that you need to add some seasoning. And I added some seasoning, and I added a little bit of salt, and I gave everything a very good mix, and went in with our meatball, our fried meatball. And then you want to give everything a very good mix again, and then you cover it, allow it to cook for another 2 to 3 minutes on a very low heat. And after 2 to 3 minutes you want to transfer this into, I added a little bit more salt because I tested it and it felt like it needed more salt, and I added a little bit of more seasoning as well. And then I transferred everything into our pasta. And then I added some ketchup. It's actually optional, but
It's highly recommended you add a little bit of ketchup because it's going to give that pasta some sweetness. And then once you add everything, you give it a very good mix and cover that on a low heat. Remember, you need to, if your pasta didn't have water in it, just add a little bit of water just so it don't get burnt. And you need to cover that, allow it to cook for about 5 more minutes on a low heat. And after 5 minutes, you want to give everything a very good mix, and your meatball pasta is ready. This dish is very, very nice. I mean, I recommend you try this dish. I mean, it's a very good.
Just African dishes.